We are located in Zone 1 in London, a part of London called South Kensington. It is the perfect location for students interested in studying art and design. First of all, London is the capital city, of course, and so therefore it is also the capital of culture and art in the UK, but also where we are based, it is right next to where all of the museums are and art galleries, some London universities as well, like Imperial College. If you've ever been to London and the UK as a tourist, and you've been to the tourist parts of London, you have been to where MPW is, because we are located in the same area. Okay, and so with regards to art facilities, okay, so we are currently actually building a new art studio in a new building we have just bought. This new building will also have new student accommodation in there, okay? And so that means that eventually we're going to have like 3 art studios in London. We've got the existing art studios plus the new one, which you can see an artist's impression of here. And so you will do all of these art subjects in here: art, graphics, ceramics, textiles, photography as well. We actually have a dark room in the campus where you can develop your photos. And this new building, which is called Queensgate House, will be open from this September onwards. This is our London school here. Okay, so this is actually the outside of the school. The architecture is very, very London styled. Like I mentioned before, we are based in Zone 1, South Kensington. London is our biggest campus. We have around 600 students in London. And you can see where it's located. It's located very, very much in like the nice, safe kind of tourist areas, arty areas of London. Inside the main campus, it's a school. And so there will be classrooms, there will be libraries, there will be science labs. We have 3 campuses of MPW, and London has our biggest art department. So any students interested in studying art, yes, you can do it in Cambridge, you can do it in Birmingham, but we would recommend you go to London because it is our biggest art department by far. And it is our London campus that works very, very closely with UAL, because it's easy for UAL to visit because they are both in London. Okay, so this is London itself. Okay, lots of tourist attractions. This here is the London Eye. This one is, a lot of people think it's called London Bridge, but it's not. London Bridge is actually a very small bridge. This one is called Tower Bridge. Many years ago in the old times, people used to be executed, killed inside these buildings, but not anymore. Now it's just a tourist attraction. There's a big river that runs through London, the River Thames. You can see the London Eye sticking up on the side there. Big Ben, very famous. The building next to Big Ben is the Houses of Parliament. It is where the UK government work. This is the new building that we have just bought, which will become a new art studio, new accommodation, a new student canteen, a new sports hall. This is just an artist's impression. It's not a photograph, because currently it is being renovated. And so it just looks like a building site at the moment. But inside, when it's finished, it's going to be super nice. I can't wait for it to open. It's going to have big common rooms like this. There will be a lovely roof terrace and a coffee shop where students can basically eat snacks and drink coffee, looking over London. All of the rooms in there will be single ensuite rooms. And so they should look something similar to this. It's just an artist's impression. But all of these rooms will be ready for September. And it is located just 2 minutes walk away from the main campus. And inside this new building, if you go inside the new building, it actually looks down on the Natural History Museum where it's located. And so it's a wonderful location. A lot of our students will actually enter national arts competitions, okay, in the UK. And I'm pleased to say that a lot of our students will actually end up winning these national arts competitions. And the students who win these competitions will actually get their artwork and their portfolio actually exhibited and shown in public galleries like the Saatchi Gallery. It's a very, very famous art gallery in the center of London, actually very close to where we work. This is actually one of our students who won one of the national arts competitions. Was it last year or 2 years ago? He looks quite old. He looks about 42 in the photo, but I promise you, he's actually only 18. I checked it with the school. But yeah, you will enter national competitions as an art student with MPW, and hopefully you will win some competitions as well. So this is our art department in London. This is our art team. And so the big main picture is a nice chap called Greg. He is the head of arts in London. We've got Kate, Louise, and Amelia. Amelia is a really nice name. I like that name. All of our tutors in art and design, they all graduated from University of the Arts London, right? So they know exactly how UAL work. Not every student wants to apply to UAL. We know this, but most students do, simply because it is the most famous arts university in the UK, possibly the most famous arts university in the world, because all of our teachers are ex-students of UAL. They know UAL very, very well. They know what the teaching is like. They know what it takes to succeed there. And importantly, they are very, very familiar with all of the professors and teachers who currently work at UAL. And so they work very, very closely together. We also have other art programs available at MPW. So it's not just the UAL Art Foundation, but the UAL Art Foundation is very, very attractive, I must admit, because you will actually leave with a UAL Art Foundation certificate. It's not an MPW certificate, and it's just a very, very good program students enjoy studying. But we do have other programs as well. So if you need something like called pre-sessional, we call it pre-program. And so we do have pre-program available. If your IELTS doesn't quite reach the level required for UAL Art Foundation, we ask for 5.0. Say, for example, you can only get 4.0. You can come to us, do pre-program. Pre-program is about 60% English training and IELTS training and about 40% subject training. And so if we make it 100% English, we think that will be a little bit boring for students, right? And so we try to mix it up by making it about 60% English, 40% art in this case, but that's essentially like a pre-sessional for art program. So if you don't have the right IELTS, don't worry, we can still help you with some pre-sessional. We have another program that we have been running for many, many years in partnership with UAL. We call it the Art Portfolio Preparation Program, but you could consider it to be like an art pre-foundation. So if your portfolio is not strong enough to enter UAL Art Foundation directly, we will ask you to do this course instead, which is a one-year program. You would study 2 A-levels on this program, not 3, 2 A-levels, 2 art A-levels. And the reason why is because that is okay to move on to UAL, but also 3 art A-levels is actually too much work for students to do in 1 year. So a lot of students will think that doing an art course is easy, right? Really, really easy. I have lots and lots of free time. It will be really easy to get an A or an A star in it. No problem at all. That's actually not correct. Studying art A-levels or even art foundation means a lot of work for students because you don't get that many lessons. Most of your work is done in your own time, right? And so if you chat to any art student who's doing art foundation or studying art at university or doing art A-levels now, they will tell you that they are spending most of their evenings and night times and most of their weekends working on their artworks and their art projects. And so there's a lot of work to do. And there's a lot of work to do here. Even though it's just 2 A-levels, it's still an awful lot of work. We ask for a slightly higher IELTS score for the Art Portfolio Preparation Program. It's a bit weird, but the reason why is because you are actually studying A-levels on this Portfolio Preparation Program, whereas on the Art Foundation, that's not A-levels, that is Art Foundation. And so you will need a slightly higher IELTS for the Portfolio Preparation Program. We also have art A-levels and art GCSEs, so that's standard 2-year A-levels or GCSEs, whether it's 1 year or 2 year. And so for A-levels, we have art, craft and design. We've got 3D design and ceramics, graphic communication, photography, textiles. For GCSEs, which can be taken over 1 or 2 years, you can choose the following subjects. That would be art GCSE, photography, textiles, or 3D design.